internet or whatever the hell that is.
The World
What's that?
Web of Internet. Whoa.
What?
Whoop.
There I am.
Whoop. Oh.
No.
This one.
Yeah. I didn't want to put my germs on there. I was in Montreal, you know. Weird.
You got the French flu.
I have the French flu.
Nice.
Hey, that was really a lot of fun. The Folk Alliance International, which is a wonderful collection of presenters from around North America and mostly from North America, and then they bring in all these performers from around the world, different styles in the folk genre, and there's all sorts of little workshops that go on during the day, and for 4 days there was like maybe 3,500 anyway musicians and presenters in this one hotel.
Whoa.
You couldn't get the elevator to go, but you learn how to use the other one, the service elevator, and watching these people who had no idea what was going on by the third or fourth day, they had grins on their faces
Really?
as service people watching everyone. It's such a wonderful. The amount of money in just instruments alone that was there.
Scary.
How much impact that the arts has financially is not just spiritually and all that other stuff, you know. So it was great because I always like to believe that songwriters are just frustrated poets who don't want to write a long piece.
Or elevated poets. We don't know.
Okay, maybe that
Either
could
way.
be.
Either way, yeah. So were all the presenters from North America and the musicians
There were some
international?
well, I don't. The presenters, the people who buy the entertainment, right?
Right. Yeah.
Who pay the money out and get the grants. There's not many from Europe, although there are European tours for, you know, if you can get involved there, it works out really good, you know, for the folk music scene, and almost all styles of music going over there now.
There were musicians from Ireland and Scotland and Sweden. And
How many
Ukraine
from Australia?
And Australia and all
We
over
got
the
some
world.
of them were coming to the
Presenters were
festival.
mostly from North America,
but the neat thing
artists were from everywhere.
is that it was all about the 39 days of July in the Duncan Showroom.
For you guys.
Well, no, for a lot of people, because we were considered legendary. We got called more than once. We got called like more than 10 times. We got called legendary.
Oh my Lord!
You know, by people in the peer group that would, you know, just go, holy, what happened? How did that happen all of a sudden? But the neat thing was that Duncan got a new persona as not being the drunken Duncan, but being
That's right.
More arts-related community and a rather fun place to be.
Good.
So I really feel like we got some success with that one little catchphrase, a rather fun place to be.
Right. Was that yours or Rob's?
That was Rob McKenzie's.
Rob McKenzie. Hi,
corner
Rob.
house. Over the corner house there he was.
Yeah.
Sitting there one day, he says, I don't like the way that people think that Duncan's called Drunken Duncan. He says, I grew up here, went away, I came back. That's not the way it is. It's a rather fun place to be. And I looked at him and I says, guess what?
Yeah.
We're going to use that.
We're going to use that.
So I
phrase.
stole it from him.
Good.
Plagiarism. No, we agreed and we started putting it in all the, you know, all the literature that we put out.
Mm-hmm.
And it became good. And the other thing that was, I gotta do this one. I have words and what they mean and how effective they can be in short form.
Yes.
Such as, sometimes you gotta believe it to see it.
That's a good one.
Right. That's a bumper sticker on it.
Sometimes you got to believe it to see it.
And then another one is, we deserve what we get.
Yes.
If we accept what they give us.
Uh-huh.
Right?
That's good. Historically correct. Yes.
Yep. And the third one was, the meek are getting ready.
Uh-huh. Are we? Are you meek? Are you
Well,
ready?
that's the whole thing, is now everyone's looking at the meekometer to find out where they actually sit on it.
Oh.
You don't want to be brazen. It's like, I do not have all my ducks in a in a row.
In a row?
There are some that are off to the side. Just because I would never want to be that person that says I have all my ducks.
No, you want to be a little outside the
words.
norm.
They're such a, interesting
Yeah.
way of. Anyway,
Wording.
how many years now?
17.5. We're not going to go into that again. Thank you, John, and I'm glad you had such a successful journey, you and the Reverend Dr. Ted Cadillac. Longevity John. Give him a big hand. 39 days in the Duncan Showroom, internationally famous. That's good to hear, John. all that hard work over the years. I started working with John, I went to his first show in 1985. It was just down the street. It was Willie P. Bennett, and I became a folk music convert. And then I started working with John, lugging gear around and emceeing for him and having all sorts of fun. It's been a lot of good years, I tell you that. All right, and this was John's idea 17 years ago in the garage showroom. So a little bit of poetic lyrics from Mr. Dillon. The guilty undertaker sighs, the lonesome organ grinder cries, the silver saxophones say I should refuse you. The cracked bells and washed out horns blow into my face with scorn, but it's not that way. I wasn't born to lose you. I want you. I want you. I want you so bad. Honey, I want you. The drunken politician leaps upon the street where mothers weep and the saviors who are fast asleep, they wait for you. And I wait for them to interrupt me drinking from my broken cup and ask me to open up the gate for you. I want you. I want you. I want you so bad. Honey, I want you. Now all my fathers, they've gone down. True love, they've been without it. But all their daughters put me down 'cause I don't think about it. Will I return to the Queen of Spades and talk with my chambermaid? She knows that I'm not afraid to look at her. She is good to me and there's nothing she doesn't see. She knows where I'd like to be, but it doesn't matter. I want you. I want you. I want you so bad. Honey, I want you. Now you're dancing, child, with his Chinese suit. He spoke to me. I took his flute. No, I wasn't very cute to him, was I? But I did it, though, because he lied, because he took you for a ride, and because time was on his side, and because I want you. I want you. I want you so bad. Honey, I want you. Can you tell he wants you? That's Mr. Dillon. And this I wrote, this is childish rambling, and only really Mary will know what this one's about. You and your unspoken... I've had it with you and your unspoken sexual tension with old Captain Underpants. What the fuck were you thinking? I was the one. Don't tell me I didn't win the day. And then you brought the bouncy little harlot in to do the part. Are you fucking kidding me? And I've been hanging on to some childish anger about the whole thing. What an idiot I am. Little Billy got his feelings hurt. Here I am, 64 years old, carrying around these little turds of disappointment. I like that's the whole best line in the whole thing, turds of disappointment. You'll all remember that one, won't you? That's right. When you're John used to say, Bill, I like it when you do this song. It's another Dylan one. So I'm going to start to play it again, but of course I had to Duncanize it. So I hope you'll enjoy this Duncanized version of Tom Thumb Blues. Are you ready? When you're lost in the rain in Duncan and it's Easter time too, and your gravity fails you, negativity won't pull you through. Well, don't put on any airs when you're down on Canada Avenue. They got some crazy women there, they'll really make a mess out of you. If you see longevity, please tell him thanks a lot. I cannot move and my fingers are all in a knot. Working on my 10,000 hours, but I don't seem to improve a lot. And my best friend, Dr. Ted, won't even say what it is I've got. There goes Mayor Staples. The peasants call her the goddess of Zoom. Well, she speaks good English as she invites you up into the council room. And you're so kind and careful not to go to her too soon as she steals your voice and leaves you howling at the moon. Up on Miller Road Hill, that's for Rob McKenzie, it's either fortune or it's fame. You must pick one or the other, though neither one of them are to be what they claim. If you're looking to get silly, you better go back to from where you came. And the cops don't need you, and man, they expect the same. Now all the North Cowichan councillors, they just stand around and boast how they bankrupt the community plan as if it was some kind of joke. And picking up Rusland, who just arrived here from the coast. He looked so good at first, but he left looking just like a ghost. Well, I started out on Burgundy, but I soon hit the harder stuff. Beanie said she'd stand behind me when the going got rough. But the joke was on me. There was no one there to even bluff. I'm going back to Brantford. I do believe I've had enough. Ha ha ha. I'll never go back to Brantford, never. never. Maybe to visit. Okay. This is a dream. This was an actual dream. Don't you hate it when this happens? She came to visit last night for the first time in 6 years. Just rolled over and bam, there were those eyes, just eating a hole in my heart. She said nothing. Then that little cat-like smile, and she stuck out her tongue, darting it around playfully. Then we were kissing and rolling on the floor. I tried to get as much of her into my mouth as I could. No telling when I'd see her again. Betsy LeBlanc, damn it. Why now? I haven't woken up with a hard-on like that in a long time. And we were playing the old nude theater improv games. Damn it, Betsy! She's a peach. That actually happened. Yeah, that's right. So there. Do you ever have erotic dreams in the morning? Nothing you're going to tell me what I know. Why would you share that, Bill? I don't know. I wouldn't get up on stage and read about it.
My sister's watching you from Winnipeg.
Oh, is she? Hi. What's her name? Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. How are your erotic dreams going? Oh, Jesus, sorry. Having said that, Jamie, come on up now that we've introduced your sister. We'll bring you up. Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you, Rhonda. Just kidding. Not everybody wants to read their erotic dreams on stage.
Okay, you're going to sit with me, right?
Do you want me to? Sure.
Okay, of course I do.
This is Jamie. She was here
Jamie.
last week
Okay,
or
hello.
Hi.
No, last month?
last month.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to do 2 this time. Is that okay? Okay, so one's for an ex-boyfriend who's a loser, so this is to him. It's called I Spit Fire. A bitter taste for me you've left. Dishonesty, deceit, and theft. So confident I'd have you back. Clearly to you, respect means Jack. However, once again I'll say, find another place to stay. A second chance was all you had, but you blew it oh so bad. So when you wrap your head around, you've already lost what you had found. And that won't change until you choose to give up lying, drugs, and booze. So move along, you need to know. You are to leave. Get out, just go.
To hell with that guy.
Those last 2 lines remind me of Dr. Seuss, right?
Oh, yeah.
You are to leave. Get out. Just go.
Just
I don't know. Yeah, right? Green eggs and ham. Okay, I do have other ones, but I don't know. Okay, so this one's called Alone in Bed. Laying in bed, just me, all alone, listening to the porch light moan. My window propped open, allowing the sound of a lonely moth's wings as it flutters around. Intrigued by the rhythm, a regular beat, unknowingly I shake my feet. My emotional composure weak at best, praying soon I'll finally rest. Suddenly I begin to weep, and ever so slowly I fall asleep.
Nice.
That's
Well
it.
done.
Okay, that's it. That's
You
it.
got
That's
another
it.
one?
Well, I do. Do you want? Should I do it?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, one more. Okay, this is for my mom who passed away.
What was your mom's name?
Elaine Gradden.
Elaine.
Yeah. Longevity John was friends with her. Your peaceful face. I think about you every day and wish, hope, dream, and pray that you know how much you're missed and were aware that I had kissed your peaceful face and hand that day, the one that you were taken away. Today you would be the big 5-0. Sadly, together we can't celebrate, though. I miss you more than one can know, but from above you do, though.
Nice.
So,
Well
thank you.
done.
Okay.
Elaine Grattan?
Elaine Grattan.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I bet I. She lived in Duncan.
Yep. Grattan. That is
Yeah.
how you spell gratin. Sorry.
That's for you, Rhonda. Nice work, Jamie. Mr. Primer, come on up. Sorry, we'll miss you, but you can watch us later on television, on the internet. How are you, sir? Oh,
Oh, I'm great.
you're great.
I'm great.
Good.
I got 3 pieces tonight.
Okay, well, let me get up before you start, because sometimes
No,
you
no.
start.
You-
What?
Aren't you just gonna sit with me the way
Oh,
you sat with
I
her?
can sit with you, sure.
Sure. I got 3 pieces. And the first one is written by Charles Bukowski. I like Charles Bukowski.
I like Charles because
This is called Girl on the Escalator. As I go to the escalator, just a second.
just a second.
Just a second. As I go to the escalator, a young fellow and a lovely young girl are ahead of me. Her pants, her blouse are skin tight. As we ascend, she rests one foot on the step above, and her behind assumes a fascinating shape. The young man looks all around. He appears worried. He looks at me. I look away. No, young man, I am not looking. I am not looking at your girl's behind. Don't worry. I respect her and I respect you. In fact, I respect everything. The flowers that grow, young women, children, all the animals, our precious, complicated universe, everyone and everything. I sense that the young man now feels better, and I am glad for him. I know his problem. The girl has a mother, a father, maybe a sister or a brother, and undoubtedly a bunch of unfriendly relatives. And she likes to dance and flirt, and she likes to go to the movie, and sometimes she talks and chews at the same time. And she really enjoys dumb TV shows, and she thinks she's a budding actress. And she doesn't always look so good, and has a terrible temper. And sometimes she almost goes crazy, and she can talk for hours on the telephone. And she wants to go to Europe some summer soon. And she wants you to buy her a near-new Mercedes-Benz, and she's in love with Mel Gibson. And her mother is drunk, and her father is a racist. And sometimes when she drinks too much, she snores, and she's often cold in bed. And she has a guru, a guy who met Christ in the desert in 1978. And she wants to be a dancer, and she's unemployed, and she gets migraine headaches every time she eats sugar or cheese. I watch him take her up the escalator, his arm protectively around her waist, thinking he's lucky, thinking he's a real special guy, thinking that nobody in the world has what he has. And he's right, terribly, terribly right. His arm around that warm bucket of intestine, bladder, kidneys, lungs, salt, sulfur, carbon dioxide, and phlegm. Lots of luck. I call that my homage to objectification. The second poem, it's written by me, and I wrote it, and I've read it here before, but I wrote it before my parents died. So I thought I would reread it again. It's called Disconnected. One of these days, my mother is going to die, my father too, and the next half of my life, if that's what it's going to be, is going to be spent alone without them. And that, I know, is opaque to me, knowing that they have always been a phone call away, and you can't telephone the dead. Or maybe you can. Maybe you can call the dead, but the dead don't want to take your call. Maybe they see the number coming in on their call display and they don't answer. They don't answer because at some point they just lose interest.
Ooh, I like that one.
My real ladder left when I was a kid, but my mom got us a step ladder. Now if I need a coffee cup perched high upon the shelf, I have my step ladder. When a poem reaches, it's usually because of a step ladder. This morning I went for coffee and asked Margot to leave womb for cream. She smiled at that, and I invited her to come to tonight's poetry reading. I think we all know she has a nice womb. That's mostly unspoken, but understood by every middle-aged man. A sweet bird of youth kind of thing, a robin or meadowlark singing before sunset. I meant to say, leave room for cream. but womb fell in place so easily. Once I explained to Margot about my backup plan should Shannon drop dead, which is to replace her with two 26-year-olds. And Margot told me that she was 26, at which I cried out, "Margot, you qualify!" Margot's probably not coming here tonight. "I'll see if I can interest Ryan," she said, who is her love interest. But I told her that if Ryan was forced to choose between an evening with her and a room full of poets, she would most certainly not be at Low this evening.
Interesting. Thank you. That's Mark, ladies and gentlemen. Much more than just a bottom objectifier, aren't you?
Alicia came in
Alicia,
beside
hi.
me, and she's going to be reading tonight.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Alicia. Thank you, Mark. Well done. Well done. Oh, I'm hallucinating. I ate Lee's chicken earlier. I'll be all right, though. Mary, are you horizontal or you have something? I thought I'd catch you before you drifted off into dreamland there. Do you want to? Could you? Did you? Okay. My friend Mary, who does some thespianating with us and has many other talents, let me tell you. Don't you, my friend?
Well, I'm still writing shit.
I'm still writing shit. Oh, you're getting it out. You're processing.
No, I'm not. I'm just showing the book that I'm
Oh, okay.
writing in. I'm not going to read out of it.
That's okay. That's great.
Other
you're
than
getting it out.
from my, I have a little vowel thing.
That
It's really cool.
Frenchman, he never deserved you.
Well, okay, so this is the thing. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted because, well, I got off a plane just now, but also because I've been crying. I think for 24 hours, I've had a setback.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually PMS. But did I say that online too? Yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to find this. Am I shouting and sleeping
No.
at the same time? I'm only saying things like, I hate you, I love you, I miss you, but that gets repetitive really fast.
Well, I think the point is that you do it until you don't need to do it anymore.
It's
so
not
It's fine.
good, and it's not anything, but
No,
it's
well,
got
it's something.
a picture of a pumpkin flower on the cover.
Okay, shall I leave you now and you're going to read something?
Well,
Or do you
so I wanted to say I'm done. I hate love. I hate it completely. But then I got home and I saw all these little cute kids, and the little 2-year-old wants to be like his big brother, who's drawing really weird stuff.
You see?
Like my daughter showed me like all these funny figurines that have blood everywhere and swords
two?
and
Wow.
no, it's the older one that's doing these creepy things. And like he had a guy fishing for a baby in a lake. I was like, this is just barely starting
That's
school
a
stuff.
metaphor for birth, though, isn't it?
I guess.
Probably.
I don't know. Anyway, some of it's kind of creepy, but cool, right? So
Yeah.
she's like, oh, that's nice. So the little one's like, Mom, do pigs poop? Yes. I want to draw a pig with a poop. This is the 2-year-old now. It's like, oh, well, oh, that's nice, hon. That's lovely. So I thought, okay, I don't hate love because it does make little cute people that draw piggy poops. And I thought I'll read them that little story, but it's for you. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar. Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are. You are. What a beautiful pussy you are. And Pussy said to the owl, you elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married, too long we have tarried. But what should we do for a ring? They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows. How many of you are familiar with this story? I only got to know it as an adult, but I love it. Love it. And there in a wood, a piggywig stood. We won't talk about the back part. With a ring at the end of his nose, his nose, his nose. With a ring at the end of his nose. Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring? Said the piggy, I will. And so they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. And I'm sure he had fine feathers. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon, which is a fork. And hand in hand on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon, the moon, the moon. They danced by the light of the moon. There, see, it's going to be okay. Happy
be all right.
endings. And now I can go back and listen to the rest of you.
Thank you, Mary. Runcible spoon is a fork? Yeah. Is that what it comes from? Oh, interesting. And was it a ducky or a turkey? A turkey. Turkey. All right, then. Thank you. Byron. Yes, do. I'm going to get up out of this chair before I get here again. Welcome, Byron. It's good to see you. Oh. Unless you need me for your emotional support bill. I think you're all right. Are you well? Good. I'll be okay. It's good to see you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Hi. What a venomous menace a nemesis is. What a venomous menace a nemesis is. That's my opener. I have been watching Netflix, 100 Years of Solitude, the series, and I wasn't here last month because I was in Mexico for a week. That was fun. And I took with me the novel 100 Years of Solitude and started reading it. I figured, it's a work originally written in Spanish, that'd be a good thing to read in Mexico. And so I'm home now, and I've been reading along, concurrently with watching the televised series. And I got to the end of the 8 episodes, and I had kept up in the book, but I'm only a third of the way through the book. And I'm thinking, oh, that must be the end of the story, and it's just going to be more layers of magical realism piled on. And I did a Google search, and lo and behold, there's a second season already in production. The Netflix deal was for 16 episodes. I'd really recommend it. It's one person called it truth literature, and in it, first of all, some of you I'm sure have read it. I read it the first time about 50 years ago. Okay, one American writer, I think his name's William Kennedy. Does that sound familiar? He said, other than Genesis, he said, he says, this is the book, after the book of Genesis, this is the other book that should be required reading for the human race. So, anyway, so I'm reading it, and son of a gun, he pegged a Trumpian archetype. There's this character in it, and it's set in Colombia, and there's a revolutionary war going on, and a rebel leader leaves his town to go fight, and he says to this guy who he's related to, who's a school teacher, he says, I'm going to leave you in charge of the town, and just have it in better shape when I get back. Just want you to just keep it in good shape, have it in better shape when I get back. That's going to be your challenge. So, from the first day of his rule, Arcadio revealed his predilection for decrees. he would read as many as 4 a day in order to decree and institute everything that came into his head. So I thought, that sounds like Donald Trump, doesn't it? So, little things like this. This book is so amazing. So there's things in it like, okay, Mary, you have that lost love. There's a character in the book, her name's Rebecca. The way she deals with things like this is she goes into the yard and she eats dirt. Right. And there's another woman whose heart slowly turns to stone, and the guy that's wooing her, she just kind of doesn't say much until she finally opens her mouth and says, "I wouldn't marry you if I was dead," which is a very strange thing to say. And it made me wonder about the actual translation. The author, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, actually considered the English translation to be superior to the original Spanish, so that's interesting too. Yeah, so lots of great stuff in there. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest, and truth literature, or no, wisdom literature. Okay. So now I just want to read a couple limericks. Don't have much on the go here. So a couple of little things that just came out of nowhere. Okay. Male artists created glass ceilings so they could get one last look up the skirts of the women ascending above them, well beyond the reach of their own creative limits. Okay, there was this one prompt challenge. I've probably read these before, but there was this one prompt challenge where you just say, just take the title of a song and do something with it, limerick-wise. So here are 3. El Paso. You know the one by Marty Robbins? El Paso. In El Paso at Rosa's Cantina, I fell hard for the red-hot Felina. Then I killed some damn fool who thought flirting was cool. Now I'm dead and Fell's got a subpoena. And here's Bob Dylan's Blowing in the Wind. From Bob's godlike perspective imperious, 9 overblown queries mysterious. But no answers exist, if that's something you missed. It's just all too long-winded and serious. And now Eleanor Rigby. Miss L trucked a pig down to Digby. A bloody big pig, not a pygmy. If L fit a pig in the rear of her rig, then how big must Miss Eleanor's rig be? Okay. And this one's called Keyless Entry. I was thrilled when Faye flipped me the key to her new Maserati GT, but soon felt like a jerk when the key wouldn't work, for Faye'd fobbed off a faux fob on me. Okay, that's all of that. And now here's something by a guy named Malcolm J. Hines called There Ain't No Writer's Block. Figure this is always good medicine. Once again, I have to say, healthy, there is no writer's block any day. Anyone can sit down and write. It's a matter of not being concerned with its weight. As soon as any few words are written, no matter what, energy is diverted, and new thoughts enter your mind based on what you wrote because your words are new to you, aren't they? And they're yours, nobody else's. Those little words will want you to make sense of them, and as soon as you meet them with continuing a dialogue, you'll be writing more stuff that makes sense to you. And if you don't, there are many places to go. Crazy, arguing, diverting, repeating, rearranging, critiquing, just saying you're defeated, fighting back, describing your suffering, morphing into chaos. You can delete it. But write that warning first. You're still writing, it's still your poem. And if you're not satisfied, put it away. Fresh eyes cause miracles on a later day. And if that doesn't work, try her later. The poem is yours. That baby is fated. It's all about scribing your experience. Only death can stop your writing. But then you won't need it. You'll be too busy being. Thank you.
Well done, good sir. Oh, there you go. Deb, come on up. I think Mary got to try Turning to Stone, didn't you? Winter's Tale? And it was a COVID preview, so we only did half the play, meaning she was stoned for a whole year, weren't you? And then the next year you got to do the whole play, and you came back in the finale, didn't you? And how was it to come out of stonedness? Magical. How are you, my dear?
I'm well.
You
How are
good?
you?
I'm all right. A little crazier than the last time you saw me. Sure. Glad that the flowers are coming up,
Mm,
even though it's only March.
yes.
That's
Yeah.
good, eh? Spring.
Yeah, it's not long.
No. Well, welcome. Good to see you.
Oh, thank you. So something happened a few weeks ago which greatly upset me. And I did what I do when I'm upset. I look to other writers. And this is from Ivan, aged 18. He wrote it when he was going to high school, and he was participating in a poetry slam workshop. I saw a girl on the train the other day. Her dress was navy green. She dressed it up with white accents and beautiful green gem necklace that was subtle but really made her outfit pop. I have no clue why she would be dressed up this nicely at a train station. The point is that I wanted to compliment her. But being that most of my friends are women, I've heard enough creeper horror stories to know if I didn't approach her correctly, I could go down in her own history book as another creepy-ass guy on the train trying to holler, so I didn't. I still don't. As a child, I was very observant in my household, saw how my mother's and aunt's voices failed in the ear of most men that stood before them, saw how abusive my uncles would be when their ego got the best of them, especially when drinking. So when I'm drunk, I try to do so without any women around me. I've grown shy of them. Not because I feel threatened, but because I don't want to seem threatening. I've seen how dog my gender can be, and I don't want to seem that way. But it's not like I don't have the same tendencies. If I see someone attractive, I'll want to look them up and down, not thinking anything of it other than appreciation of their presence, not noticing its invasion of privacy, and not having to worry about it because nobody says anything, because I'm a guy. This perverse action is expected, but it's not respectful. Through the poetry community, I've learned to appreciate a woman's body for the temple it is. I feel as though I'm disrespecting it when I linger on a woman's bust or curves, because it's superficial. How is anyone expected to appreciate a body first without appreciating the mind behind it? Though I'm guilty of refuting this in the back of my mind when you first meet someone. You don't meet their mind, you meet their body. And maybe the respect there is not focusing on it, but in trying to get to know them as a person rather than the body they inhabit. But again, being that I have mostly female friends, I know that not all women even want to have a conversation or be complimented. So, even if I were to be as considerate as I am, or think I am, I could still come off wrong because of that person's experience with men. I'd be pulled with all the men that have hurt her physically and emotionally, but I can't prove I'm none of these people in the span of a 2-minute train ride, not only because a lifetime isn't explained and reshaped in 2 minutes, but also because I've grown up as a man in an environment where abusing a woman's submission is seen as power. I know I walk in privilege, even if I don't know exactly how. My confidence at a 12 a.m. 20-minute walk home is a privilege I never acknowledged. So why try? I feel like I'd waste breath and pride taking on the task of making a discussion into a 2-minute side talk. Who am I to approach someone? Who am I to selfishly want to show that I don't see a woman as just a piece of meat, just because I want to have a conversation, just because I want to show validation? No one asked to be validated in the first place. Who am I to place weight on that validation anyways? Hell, even making this piece is proof of my privilege. Why is my perspective being validated when really it's hers that needs to be acknowledged? Oh, I forgot to give you the title, Male Privilege. I remember in my early 20s walking past construction sites, head down, body tense. I'd walk as fast as I could without running, trying not to hear the comments. After I graduated from university, I got my first serious job at Texaco in a big office tower. In those days, we all wore suits. Practically every day, an engineer from an office across the hall would find an excuse to get close to me and say in a soft voice, "When are you going to wear something sexy?" 10 years later, I got my first writing job. I put on a hard hat and steel-toed work boots, and I went around a manufacturing plant, observing and asking questions about the operating procedures. Most guys were respectful. Some became friends. 2 guys, however, each acting on their own, made comments about what they would like to do to my body. I thought about telling the plant superintendent, but there happened to be a woman doing her work experience for her MBA at that time. She told me the plant superintendent was constantly harassing her with unwanted sexual comments. She thought carefully about reporting him and decided it would only hurt her. Shiny Object by Morning Cloak. You don't see me. I fill the room. You're just looking at my belly button. You reduce me to a coin that fits into your pocket so you can walk on whistling.
Good work, Deb. Rojean, where did he go? You are there. I probably said your name again wrongly one more time. That was better this time. Oh, good. Oh, good. It's been a while since we've seen you, I think. You are healthy and well?
Yes, thank you. I am.
Nice.
Well, the doctor told me I have 30 or 40 years left.
Excellent. Well, welcome.
Yeah, I'm Ro. I write under the name Rojan Zay. Did you get that, Bill? Okay. Rojan Zay. Rhymes with cabaret. We walk through life not knowing where we come from. We walk without knowing where we're going. We walk through life growing what we're sowing. We walk through life knowing this is a forest. A solitary trail through woods marked by leaves, needles, and cones, roots exposed, earth upturned, rocks and puddles, branches fallen, trunks akimbo, a scrap of paper marked with ink, maybe bones. Images brought to light, silent words untasted, lying, sitting, standing here through day and night while we walk as through a comb alone, or as though to some commanding, all going home. Home for snake and snail, slugs and thoughts, animals with claw and tail. Digging, barking, talking, sending mail to those with ears to hear. And deep below, the surging flow, organic life begins anew, moving slow under a tingling coat of fur where winds blow high above us, down below. Embraced by ground, we carry on, oblivious to what we know or how the seasons came and go again, over what we found where we have walked. Others take our place, yet still the race remains for some who fail to see, who shout and steal, invading nature's space on which we grow like fleas and feathers between trees, spreading disease where leaves and needles, cones and roots, butterflies and elephants once trampled dust over this face, dust of homes. Orangutans, young in their arms, confused, do not know where to find new ground or where to go for rest. Thank you.
Brett, you been thinking about it? Yeah, what do you think? Give it a whirl. What the heck? What the heck? It's.
If I come up here.
Oh, you could do either. You could do the Fred Astaire's or. So, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time, and what are you doing with yourself these days?
Well, I woke up this morning with some
Yeah.
clogged ears.
Oh no.
So I've been really hoping for some
Right.
closed captioning this evening.
Oh,
But
great.
I've caught some of it.
Good.
I might have a red ear because I've been like, if I hold it like this.
Stretching it open.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I can hear you a lot better now.
Good.
So.
Yes. What's good for unplugging the ears? Olive oil, hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, I poured some of that in this
Did you?
morning. That
Did
was
it help?
exciting. Lots of bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. I can hear myself blink a lot today.
Right.
So
All
that's
the
strange.
interior sounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
It'll
new experience.
yeah. It'll
Maybe
pass,
like
hopefully.
foreshadowing for my future, you know.
I
40,
hope not.
so I can't
40.
expect my hearing to
So
last
young.
forever.
Yes.
Yeah. Just a year or two younger than you, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Flatter me. It's good to see you, and thank you for coming up and giving this a go.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me up here. I love being on stage.
You do. That's good to hear.
I like doing things that make me uncomfortable. Or I don't, but I should. So that's why I'm up here. And I don't know if I'm yelling or talking too quiet, so I hope you all can hear me okay. And I have a little unfinished something, so I hope you get something out of it. It's really scary to read something and not just like ramble away. A large raven makes its way along the beach. In search of food, it digs up a crab and proceeds to pull off each of its legs one at a time before breaking into the main shell for its feast. She's been watching the raven for several minutes, or maybe close to an hour. Time melting away in this rare moment of presence. Reclining in the sand in a place that feels like the edge of the world, time feels irrelevant. Her back leans against a large driftwood log, smoothed by its years afloat. To the left, a stream etches its path through the sand, where the tireless waves welcome the fresh water into a seemingly endless ocean. The waves have been inviting her into the water all morning, and she decides at last to accept the invitation. Leaving her clothes on the log, she makes her way to where the shore meets the waves. Taking in a lungful of briny ocean air, the water covers her feet, then recedes back to the vast ocean. She follows the beckoning waves, slowly wading into the cold, salt water until she is deep enough to float. That is all I will read tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for being brave. And well done. And hopefully your ears will get better soon.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Or there's the old, whoa. Yeah, olive oil loosens it up with the water flush, all that stuff. Greg, did you decide if you want to tell a story? No? Aiden went, so that leaves Alicia. It's Alicia, right? Is that right? Come on up. You didn't yell, no, you're perfect, because you're like about there. Now you're yelling. No, you're not. Yeah. No, it's good. How old is your son now?
He's 10 and a half.
Oh, my Lord. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Oh, my.
And like also getting a little bit unprecious.
Oh, of course.
Like, yeah.
Nearing
Great.
double digits. Yeah. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to have you. And are you a Duncanite, a Valley
I
person?
am. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you've been thinking about reading for a while?
I've been thinking about coming for a while to this, but
Nice.
I wasn't actually knowing I was going to read tonight. I just brought some books as friends, actually, and then
Right.
and then Mark said I was going to read, so I'll read something.
Good. Well, welcome. You're at home.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'll read from Adrienne Marie Brown. If you can't see the small. Look here. If you can't see the small, you will keep leaping from built thing to built thing, begging the sky to rain only on you. You will become a tyrant, reaching, shuffling the cards until you see only your own vision, massive, but no one else can see it. If you can't see the small, you miss the whole miracle. It is all moments nearly missed, private, impossible to perform, or perfectly acted, context and all. Moments of faith hit the surface and change it, shivering us open to love, to our ridiculous longings. If you can't see the small, you may never feel true love. It comes with the slimmest shadow of warning, whisper clacking spider toes up your spine. To love is to truly lose. The the only thing you can ever truly have and never buy. For love, true, the whole surrender kind starts with a gasp. If you can't see the small, you may never know pleasure, which is not about the immersion into eternal bliss. No, it's the printed pad of your finger grazing along my shoulder as you realize you need to feel me. It is inside where the sun, wind, rain, and earth have never touched you, but I have. If you can't see the small, you won't know what the dirt is screaming, one grief at a time, that the whales are singing warning songs, that there is a shudder in all of life now, a premonition. Change everything, for everything is changing. Thanks.
Da-da-da-da-da. Jazz music plays. Well, did we catch everybody? Tim, did you want to tell a? Let's see, there my ears go. A little story, like the ringing went from here to over here. I'm going, oh, it's the Lee's chicken. Tim, did you want to tell a little story? He's tired, man. He hasn't slept barely in 2 weeks, 2 days. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for John and Tim just got back today, and I really appreciate they were just barely in time for the Eugene and Billy show, our 101th edition. So feel free to tune into any and all of those. We generally have musical guests. Don't chat Mary up before I'm done. You got to wait till I'm done. I can hear you. Thank you. Thank you all for coming out. And I would like to say that one of the things that I will work on, because I noticed myself having trouble with it, is because it happened with my boss last week. And I noticed in modern society that sometimes when we disagree with each other, it's the next step that is the most important, you know, how we handle that. And if we react and how well we react and talk to each other. So, gang, we can all do better. Thank you all for sharing. That was a really wonderful night. Welcome back, Dr. Reverend, how are we going to say it? Reverend Dr. Ted Cadillac. He's so proud of that. And Lord Longevity John Faulkner. Lord Jevity, and I hope you'll come out again. It's always the last Tuesday of the month. So thank you very much for your contributions, and good night. Thank you.
find out that this is really meant to be. We're having lots of babies, live in a big house by the sea. Because you are the closest thing to maybe seen for a while. You are the closest thing to maybe this I can't deny. Oh baby, you are close to me, but there ain't no doubt. You are the closest thing to me. Be this right this side. I wish that I was there right now. Yeah. Sand between my toes, fishing boats and swaying palms. I remember perfectly, but these visions don't compare to the ones I have of you and me. Because you are the closest thing to me. See for a while, you are the closest thing to me. Yes, I can't deny. Oh baby, you are close to me, but there ain't no doubt. You are the closest thing to me. Be that's right this out. I say you are the closest thing to me. See for a while, you are the closest thing to me. Yes, I can't deny. Oh baby, you are close to me, but there ain't no doubt. You are the closest thing to me. Be that's right this out. Closest thing to me, closest thing to me, closest thing to me, closest thing to me. Closest thing to me, closest thing to me, closest thing to me. Here we go. Thank you.